And then I thought maybe right now I would just tell them about the food. Hello, I just thought I'd let you know that we're just waiting on Roberta. They had to pick her up from the hospital, so as soon as she's here, we'll begin. I would also like to let everybody know that after we've gone to the cemetery, the family will be at Beth Jacobs Synagogue, and there will be an opportunity for you to meet the family and offer your condolences. And there will also be a lunch served at the synagogue. The synagogue is located at 4715 McTavish Street. So please feel free to join us if you can do that.
I'll ask everyone to please rise as we begin the service. On behalf of everyone standing here today, we ask forgiveness for any pain or hard feelings that may have come between us. We'll give a moment for the children if they want to come step forward and ask forgiveness and forgive. So you want to step forward for a moment. As we initiate the next stage of mourning, the intense pain that the mourners are feeling, Jewish custom is to perform a kriya, which they make a tear on a garment. In addition to that, it symbolizes the idea that the soul of the person is the true identity, the core, and just as the garment is our outer garment, so too the soul is the inner core of the individual, of the person, and the body is just their garment. So we'll ask the children to stand forward and we'll do this. We'll now say a couple of songs. I'll read the first couple, and then we'll do the third one. The paper that you all have is chapter 73, corresponding to Michael's age, and we will we'll sing that as the third one all together. Amart Ladinoy Adinoy Ata, Evasibala Lakan Shamars Kimadir Katsivam, Yuat Voice Mark Maharmal Asas Game with Damaval Ss Shamois Maspasai, Adremas and Naskalki Kosi Atatrina Pirali Havolum Nafu Libani Himim, Afnatlas Shafra Ole, Abarika Sadino Yashir Yatani after this external Yosa Shivisa in the summit, Yumini Balamet Lachin Samachni Bayam Fodi after Sarish Kilovata, Lesazi Nashi Lisho. And that's the Lord is my allotted portion and my share. You guide my destiny. Portions have fallen to me in pleasant places. Indeed, a beautiful inheritance is mine. I bless the Lord who has advised me. Even in the nights, my intellect admonishes me. I have set the Lord before me at all times, because he is my right hand. I shall not falter. Therefore my heart rejoices, and my soul exalts. My flesh too rests secure, for you will not abandon my soul to the grave. You will not allow your pious ones to see purgatory. Make known to me the path of life, that I may be satiated with the joy of your presence, with the bliss of your right hand forever. Psalm 91. Yoshua Sisrael Misal Shadi Sloin on Ermalan in Maxim Sosi and Hayata with the Yasil Yaption of Rivers by Rossi Yosef of the South Axel the Pyramide. The Syrian Macalil and Casey of Yami Never Boy from Yalak and Kat Yosh Sar Nicholas Kosh Alakon Roy Munaka Lakali Gashak Manaka Sabi. She Lumas or Shamti Kat and their Maxi and Sam Marina soon and left and Robin Negli Trevor Alaka. Malaka meets Abel Shmarkum for the Kaka finance on the Ticket ever and Black Shaka and Pass and Tidri. Timus Kivasan, Kibu Kashak of Theos and Yadashmi, you create any that I name Iman with Sarah, Haseva Hamdeo, Because he desires me, I will deliver him. I will fortify him, for he knows my name. When he calls me, I will answer him. I am with him in distress. I will deliver him and honor him. I will satisfy him and show him my deliverance. We'll do number 73 together. You're comfortable to read it in Hebrew or English. These morally aspects of these shall be where they will meet him up until your rabbi kind should to assure it. He said, "I will show the strong American in cartoons and the voice of the energy name of the other William of Allah. He not has me down by the shis comes from my. Lots of it leaning well, must be sleeping with them who are ocean word with a very chat, much my emotion and tell part of English on my alone the molly what's in my. For only a high the other ill is there, the other show him. Mashal oil is who coil. A hurried keys live up there, that's when you can talk about Eddie not go up on him, say half of them, Carmen Martio, Sapper, when you're there, but I'm about the casual das is almost in it, and away only the shale of Vina Trees and Aqua. A lot is such a lot is such a small problem, not sure is actually how you shall the rubber supplement while Salmon Balos, Catalina, Pockets, and the about here, Salmon Tuesday. These comics about the creation and are the delay, but he must use to see money coming in what has to be at the but us with something marker copy Kachini. Being the Bashamine, in capacity of artists, call the Shiri, Lubavitch, Lubavi, Helki, and Himmelon. Here, a Catholic evaded smart person in the back, or Nicky Russell in the toe, Shati, body knowing him, Max in the Sapper, Polmalaki Sefa. The final verse in English, I put my trust in my Lord God that I may recount all your works. Everyone may be seated. I will begin by delivering remarks from Jeremy, who's not in town at the moment. He asked me to give over something in his name. He writes about Aretz, now the earth was unformed and void. Genesis 1:2. He writes like this: a few years ago, Michael and I studied together as part of a group looking at the aging process, as saging instead of aging, growing old. He had an abiding interest in learning how what he did might make a difference in this world, and a real concern then that it did not. I remember the conversations and how I learned a little about his approach to life and his work. What I noticed was his inclination to give order to the work being done, to see the chaos in the world and give it form and order and make it more meaningful. In fact, he dissected the work we were studying and gave me a completed breakdown of his own as an addendum to our study, cross-referenced by page and chapter and key concept. It was well thought out and meaningful, and I appreciate it to this day. Continues, when I think of Michael, I think on this, and I remember Bereshit, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, how the world began, void and unformed. How we learn about how HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be, bringing form and light into a world of chaos and darkness. Just as at the beginning of creation, much in this world is about taking the chaos of this world and giving it some form, some sense, some meaning. Michael was one who saw the chaos in many forms and was drawn and gifted to giving it order. I'm not sure that he easily appreciated what he could do, but it made a huge difference. My best wishes to Roberta, family, and may Michael's life be for a blessing. Now we'll ask Michael's son, Jerry, to come up and say a few words.
I would normally ask that you forgive my voice, but I will not do that today. My voice sounds like this because of my sorrow. And my sorrow is a measure of the greatness of my Father. It is right and it is proper that people should feel sorrow at the passing of a great man. My father was an educator, He taught in the New York City school system. My father was a scientist. He had 2 degrees in science. My father, ultimately, he told me one day, was a tool maker. He wrote computer programs that were used as tools. He worked, if you wish to see my father's legacy, I ask you to look up. And when you look up, you will see lights. Those lights are lit by the generation of electricity. And my father worked for most of his adult life to ensure that the generation of that electricity would be reliable and would be reasonably inexpensive so everybody could afford it. And would be available to all the people of the province. It would not simply be for the rich, it would be for everyone. It is sometimes said in Judaism that there's an 11th commandment, that thou shalt not waste. And I think that was the most important one to my father. My father hated waste. It drove many of his interests. My father had a tremendous interest in environmental issues, not in the cheering and rah-rah stuff. He saw the most important environmental issues as eliminating waste. Engineers would call this picking the low-hanging fruit. So my father was also extremely interested in public transit. When we found my father's Bible, the bookmark he used is a transit pass. Last night, I and my wife picked up my father's Bible, and we read the passage he was reading. We read it together. It connects us to him. And not only to him, explained to my wife the passage. As my father had explained many things to me in the past. And I explained to her that these words that I read to her, these ideas, were thousands of years old. And they connect all of us to all of the people who are now gone, who've read these words over the centuries and millennia. And just as we are connected to them, we are connected to my father. And just as the words will go on, so will my father go on in the memories of the people here who knew him, and the people in other places who knew him who are not able to be here now. My father is a great man, and his legacy will go on in his grandchildren and his friends. And it is right and proper that we should be sad this time.
Thank you for your touching words. I'd just like to add a few words of my own before we do the traditional Kelmole document. My wife Sherna and I got to know Michael shortly after we moved here, just over 2 years ago. In our beginning stages, we were thinking which programs to initiate. One of the first things was sending out an email to dozens of people. A new class for Torah study was about to begin. Out of all the emails that we sent out, there were a couple of responses. One of which was Michael and Roberta asking if they can come to some of those classes. After the first one that I had the honor of studying together with them, since then, just about every week, rain or shine, minus 40 or plus 30, when many young people would feel very uncomfortable and have many reasons not to go out, they ventured together to come and study Torah together with us. I remember the first class that we had together, when Michael felt my nervousness at the very first time teaching here in Regina. And I'll never forget those words that he told me even before we began the class. And I quote, "I don't want to if I'm asking you a question, I don't want to hear what you don't have to say. I want to hear what you do have to say. So I'll try my best again to follow his wise advice. The amount of time, energy, and commitment that Michael invested in Torah study over the past couple years is truly an inspiration. From this inspiration, our small class of two to three people every week transformed into classes of a room full of people. As we move ahead, we are taught by our sages, "V'achai yitin el libo." The living must take to heart and internalize, continue the legacy of the departed. On that note, I would encourage everyone to continue this legacy by taking upon ourselves an additional commitment to a small amount of Torah study, the Ilu Nishmat, for the elevation of the soul of Michal Yitzchak Ben Tzvi. A very short week and a half ago, the last class Michael was able to join, I thought that I stood in front of the room as a teacher. Today, I clearly stand as a student, internalizing the messages and mounds of inspiration that Michael has been to me and my family over the last couple of years. On that note, we will dedicate our future classes to his memory, continuously keeping his inspiration alive. Michael's second name, Yitzchak, means laughter and joy. Just as the verse tells us, Kiner Havaya Nishmat Adam, the flame of God is the soul of man. The flame of a candle is from the most spiritual things that are here in this physical realm. Similarly, the soul of a person, which is their true identity, is the most spiritual part of the individual. Their true identity remains, continues to exist, continues to be elevated higher and higher, and enjoys all the benefits of the labor that he put in all of these years that we were able to be with him. Continues to take that above the heavenly realms and is beginning to enjoy and will continue enjoying more and more immensely as time progresses the intense bliss of the experience in the world in which the soul is heading to. We want to wish Michal Yitzchak Ben Tzvi's neshama have an aliyah and experience this true bliss, be bound with the eternal binding of life. And let us say Amen. El Malei Rachamim, Shochein Meroimim, Hamtzei Menucha Lechoino, Kanfei HaShechina, B'maloi Sakedoshim Utehorim, Kizoi Harakia Mazirim, Es Nishmas, Michal Yitzchak Ben Tzvi, Shehalach Loiloi, Bavur Sheyitim Mineder Tzedakah, Ba'ad Hazkaras Nishmasai, Began Eden Tehim Chasai, Lachem Bal Harachamim Yastireu B'Seiser Kenaf Haloi Lamim, Yitzrar B'Tzra Chaim Es Nishmasai, Adenoi Hunach Halasai, V'Yanuach HaMishkavoi B'Shaloi, V'Noimar, Amen. I'd like to call up the pallbearers, Michael Yaffe, Beryl Young, Steve Wolfson, Don McQuillan, Shimon Gelblum,